Welcome back to another edition of Talk Nerdy to Me, coming to you from the broadcasting lair of Zia Comics in beautiful downtown Las Cruces, New Mexico. I am your host, Troy Stegner. And before we get into this review, we'll ask you for one favor. Subscribe to this channel, man. It helps us out with the metrics a lot. Alright, pandering over, I have looky, comic bookie. Right there, you see that? It's another Star Wars. War of the Bounty Hunters. I think most, if not all, of the Star Wars titles now are kind of tying into this War of the Bounty Hunters story arc, which takes place after Boba picks up the Han Solo and carbonite from Bespin Cloud City, and he's on his way to deliver it to Jabba the Hutt. Along the way, the carbonite, starts to get a little unstable. He doesn't want to deliver a puddle of Han Solo, so he stops to get the carbonite deal fixed because those weren't meant for humans. The carbonite freezing thing was not really meant for humans, but it got altered to do that, and he stops to get it fixed. And while it's getting fixed, he goes out to do some other stuff. Somebody jacked it, man. They stole his bounty. So now he's after whoever it is to get it back. Problem is, in the meantime, Jabba the Hutt is thinking that he got betrayed by Boba Fett, so he puts price on Boba Fett's head. So now, not only is he trying to get his bounty back, all these other bounty hunters are trying to catch him for his bounty. Because we saw Forlom and Zuckuss early on in the series. And they thought they had Boba dead to rights. But he's Boba Fett, man. He got out of it. And in this issue, it's somehow or another, Crimson Dawn got a hold of Han Solo and carbonite. And if you don't remember Crimson Dawn, if you watched Solo: A Star Wars Story, that dealt with a lot of Crimson Dawn with what's his name, Voss. And his little underling, Kira, who was Emilia Clarke, who was Khaleesi, Game of Thrones. So, anyway, Han Solo and carbonite has ended up in Crimson Dawn's hands. They are auctioning him off to the highest bidder, and they have sent out invitation to every known, little known, well known, even low-level villains to come and put a bid on him, because Han Solo has a few enemies. He's double-crossed a few people, and speaking of that, Doc Aphra has too. She's wanted by probably just as many people. Her, if you saw last time, she got an invitation from her boss. Her boss sent her to go and bid on, or to go and check it out. So you get there, and they're introducing you. They're walking around. They keep introducing you all these big time mobster villains, space mobsters. And Aphra can't help herself. She tries to steal somebody's necklace and spills a drink on her skirt. She almost gets recognized, and then she is talking, and somebody grabs her by the hand and says, "Hey, I know who you are." And it's a hooded, cloaked figure, of course. Says, "Hey, I know who you are. You're Aphra. I need your help. I need you to create a diversion whenever I give you the signal." And Aphra's kind of apprehensive at first, and she's like, "I recognize that voice. You sound like a clone trooper." He's like, "I'm not a clone trooper." So, there's only a few other people it could be, unless they have some kind of voice modulator. This sounds like a clone trooper. My first thought was Boba Fett, but I read something else, a different comic, and now I'm changing my mind. I'm not sure. No, I take that back. I'm positive it's Boba Fett now. Okay, we got the hooded cloak there, and if you watch the review for War of the Bounty Hunters, number 2, I'll tell you why it's Boba Fett. Anyway, I'm pretty certain that's Boba Fett. He sounds like a clone trooper and needs a diversion so he can kind of get Han Solo back. Say the bidding goes, everybody's there. The huts are bidding. Everybody's bidding, and at one point, Jabba, they get up to 250,000, 400,000. Finally, Jabba's tired of the bidding. He's just like, you know what? 1,000,000 credits. I give you 1,000,000 credits. So he wins, and Jabba being Jabba, he's like, wrap him up and I'll pick him up. And then, boom, 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 old Anakin pops in there. He says, no, Solo's mine. You ain't taking him. I got this. And at that point, Aphra is freaking out because, she's not in good standing with Darth. She's freaking out and she drops the little crystal and it catches Darth Vader's attention. He turns his head. That's where this issue ends. So basically you got everybody is coming after Han Solo. Everybody wants Han Solo. And you can see next issue, Darth is swinging that saber and you got Sana jumping over and Aphra just standing there looking. So obviously Annie is not happy. He's going to try to take out old Doc Aphra. So, like I said, and I kind of think that cover, is a big hint that it's Boba Fett. So yeah, Doc Aphra. I love the Doc Aphra character. She's kind of like a Han Solo mixed with a Indiana Jones. Two Harrison Ford characters. But she's kind of like a space Indiana Jones. She's an archaeologist, but instead of getting stuff to take back to the museum, she's getting it to sell because she's all about the money. So that is my review. I'm saying pick this one up. I'm not sure if I would subscribe to Dr. Aphra yet. I mean, I love the character to death, but I don't know where they're going to go with her story after this arc. What's going to happen after Han Solo gets eventually delivered to Jabba the Hutt. Pick it up off the shelf. If you don't subscribe, pick it up off the shelf. It's definitely a good read, and it ties in. If you're reading other Star Wars stuff, man, it dovetails into that stuff perfectly. So that is my review for, Old Doc Aphra number 12. If you like that review and you'd like to see more like it, subscribe. Subscribe to the channel, man. It's free, don't cost nothing, and it helps us out a lot. And while you're at it, why don't you hit the bell icon? You'll be notified whenever we put up a new video. And until you see that new video, later, nerds.
Get nerdy with me. Tell me what game that you get on. Is it card or read? What kind of class do you play, girl? In an RPG?